I want to tell you about a woman named Gloria. She's 68 years old, lives alone in a small apartment in Oshawa, Ontario, and she retired from a clothing factory 4 years ago. Every single month, Gloria counts her money carefully. She collects CPP, she collects OAS, and every quarter she gets a GST credit payment, about $133, and that $133 is what she uses to buy groceries for the month, not part of her groceries, all of her groceries. That is the reality of what she is working with. Last Tuesday, Gloria was doing what millions of Canadian seniors do every single day. She was scrolling through Facebook when she came across a post. The post said there is a new $950 grocery payment coming from the government on June 5th. Gloria's heart jumped. She needed that money. She clicked the link. It asked for her social insurance number. And because the post looked official, because it mentioned the exact date, because it mentioned the exact dollar amount, she typed it in. She trusted it. Within 48 hours, someone used her information to attempt to redirect her CRA benefits to a different bank account. Gloria nearly lost everything. And here's the part that should make every one of you sit up straight right now. She did not nearly lose everything because the payment was fake. She nearly lost everything because the payment is completely real. There is a $950 grocery payment coming on June 5th. It is real, it is law, and it is coming to your bank account, but only if you do not make the mistakes I'm going to walk you through today. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes I'm going to tell you exactly what this payment is, exactly how much you are going to receive based on your specific situation, the one thing you absolutely must do before June 5th, and the 5 traps that could take this money away before it ever reaches you. Everything in plain language. No government jargon, no complicated tax talk, just the facts you need and the exact steps to take. And before I go any further, I want to ask you something. Right now, are you currently receiving the GST-HST credit, the quarterly payment you get in January, April, July, and October from the CRA? Tell me yes or no in the comments right now. I read every single one, and the answer you give is going to tell me a lot about how much this video could mean for you. Let me start with the big picture, because there is a tremendous amount of confusion swirling around right now, and I want to clear all of it up once and for all. On January 26th, 2026, Prime Minister Mark Carney stood up and announced a brand new benefit called the Canada Groceries and Essentials Benefit, or CGEB for short. On February 12th, Parliament passed Bill C-19, the Canada Groceries and Essentials Benefit Act, and it received royal assent that very same day. I want you to understand what that means. This is not a proposal sitting on a desk somewhere. It is not a rumor. It is not something being debated in a committee. It is the law of this country. Statutes of Canada 2026, Chapter 1. You can look it up yourself. Here's what it means for you in plain English. If you have been receiving the GST-HST credit, that quarterly payment from the CRA, that credit is being replaced. Starting July 3rd, 2026, it will carry a new name, the Canada Groceries and Essentials Benefit. And the payment amounts are going up by 25%, not just for 1 year, for 5 full years, from 2026 all the way through 2031. That is a permanent increase locked into law. But here is where it gets even more meaningful. Before that 25% increase begins on July 3rd, the government is sending out a bonus payment, a one-time top-up, and that top-up starts landing in bank accounts on June 5th, 2026. I want you to think of it this way. Imagine your GST credit is a glass of water the government fills for you 4 times a year. On June 5th, they are going to pour you an extra half glass, a bonus equal to 50% of your total annual GST credit amount. And then, starting July 3rd, they are going to pour 25% more into every single glass 4 times a year for the next 5 years. These are 2 completely separate increases. The first is a one-time lump sum arriving June 5th. The second is a permanent quarterly boost that starts July 3rd and continues until 2031. Now let me give you the actual dollar amounts, because this is what truly matters to your daily life. Under the old GST-HST credit, the maximum annual payment for a single individual was $533. Under the new Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit starting July 2026, that rises to $679 per year for a single person. For a married or common law couple, it goes from $698 up to $890. And for each child under 19, it increases from $184 to $234. But when you combine the June 5th one-time top-up with the enhanced quarterly payments that follow, the total a single individual can receive in 2026 reaches up to $950. A family of 4 can receive up to $1,890. The CRA confirmed those exact numbers in a press release on April 17th, 2026. That is the number you have been hearing about, and that is the number we are going to make sure lands in your bank account and not someone else's. What this looks like for real seniors, in real situations. I want to walk you through 3 real-life scenarios so you can see exactly what this benefit means depending on where you stand financially, because this is not a one-size-fits-all situation, and knowing your scenario could save you from a very unpleasant surprise. First, meet Janet. She is 69, she is single, and she lives in Hamilton. Janet receives CPP of about $14,000 a year and OAS of about $8,000. Her total net income sits at roughly $22,000. Under the old GST credit, Janet was receiving about $530 per year, approximately $133 every quarter. On June 5th, Janet will receive a one-time top-up of approximately $265. Then, starting July 3rd, her quarterly payments increase by 25%. So instead of $133, she will receive about $170 each quarter going forward. Janet's total benefit for all of 2026 comes to approximately $945. That is over $400 more than she received last year. For Janet, that is a full month of groceries. That is real and meaningful money that she did not have to apply for, did not have to call anyone to get, and did not have to click a single link to receive. Now meet Frank and Mary. Both are 74 and living in Edmonton. Frank receives CPP and a small company pension. Mary receives CPP and OAS. Their combined family net income is about $41,000. Under the old system, they were receiving about $640 per year combined. On June 5th, they will receive a one-time top-up of around $320. Starting July, their quarterly payments go up by 25% across the board. Their total benefit for 2026 comes to approximately $1,200. They were getting $640 before. Now they are getting over $1,200. That is an increase of nearly $500 for the year, and they did not have to fill out a single form, visit a single office, or click on a single link to make it happen. Now, the third scenario is the one I need you to pay close attention to, especially if your income is higher than a typical CPP and OAS combination. Meet Paul. He is 71, single, and living in Mississauga. Paul has CPP of $11,000, OAS of $8,000, and he does some part-time bookkeeping that brings in another $35,000. His net income sits at about $54,000. At that income level, Paul is approaching the maximum income threshold, which for a single person with no children is $56,181. Because of what the government calls the phase-out, Paul's GST credit has already been reduced significantly. He is only receiving about $110 per year right now. His June 5th top-up will be approximately $55. His quarterly payments will increase slightly. His total for 2026 comes to about $200. Not the full $950 owe, but still more than before and still every cent he is entitled to. Here's the key takeaway from these 3 scenarios. The lower your income, the greater the benefit. If you are living primarily on CPP, OAS, and GIS, you are very likely receiving close to the maximum amount, and you stand to gain the most from this change. If your income is above $45,000, the benefit begins to shrink. And if your combined household income is above roughly $59,000 for a couple with no children, you may not qualify at all. Knowing where you stand is not just useful, it is essential. 3 hidden details. Nobody is talking about now. Here is where this video becomes truly different from everything else you may have seen about this topic online. There are 3 things about this benefit that almost nobody is discussing, and every single one of them could determine whether you actually receive this money in full, in part, or not at all. The first hidden detail is that the June 5th payment and the July 3rd payment are calculated based on 2 completely different tax returns. This one is catching people completely off guard, and I cannot stress it enough. The one-time top-up landing June 5th is calculated using your 2024 tax return. The enhanced quarterly payments starting July 3rd are calculated using your 2025 tax return. So if you filed your 2024 taxes, but have not yet filed your 2025 taxes, you will receive the June 5th bonus, but your July payment could be delayed or missing entirely. And if you only filed 2025 and never filed 2024, you will not get the June 5th payment at all. Both years must be filed for you to receive the full benefit in 2026. I will say that one more time so it truly sinks in. You need both your 2024 and your 2025 tax returns filed and assessed by the CRA, not one, both. The second hidden detail is one that genuinely shocks people when they hear it for the first time. The CRA can take your entire June 5th payment, every single cent of it, and apply it toward a debt you owe the government before it ever touches your bank account. The CRA's own website states this clearly. If you have an outstanding balance, they may automatically apply benefits you are entitled to toward that debt. This is called an offset. It applies to unpaid income taxes, CERB repayments, EI overpayments, CPP overpayments, OAS overpayments, and even Canada student loans. So you could be fully eligible for $265 on June 5th, wake up that morning checking your account, and receive absolutely nothing because the government paid itself first and never sent you a single warning. If there is any chance you owe the CRA for any reason at all, log into your CRA My Account right now and check your balance. Do this today. You can find out before June 5th, and knowing ahead of time gives you options. The third hidden detail actually surprised me when I read the detailed policy analysis, because it goes against every instinct you might have about how a benefit like this should work. The poorest single seniors in Canada receive less from this benefit than seniors who earn $20,000 a year. I know that sounds completely backwards, so let me explain exactly why it happens. The GST-HST credit has something called a phase-in for single adults. If you are a single person with zero reported income, no CPP, no OAS, nothing, your maximum annual benefit under the old system was only about $352. But if your income rises to about $11,500 or above, your benefit increases to the full $533. This phase-in design means a person with absolutely no income receives $181 less than someone with modest income. The Institute for Research on Public Policy, one of Canada's most respected and nonpartisan policy think tanks, highlighted this exact problem in their detailed analysis and actually recommended that the government correct this design flaw before implementing the CGEB. The government chose not to. They also recommended excluding seniors from the enhanced amounts entirely, arguing that seniors already receive OAS and GIS and are therefore adequately supported. The government rejected that recommendation and kept seniors fully in the program. So the good news is that seniors are included. The uncomfortable truth is that the most financially vulnerable seniors, the ones with zero income, receive less than modest income earners under this design, and the 25% increase doesn't close that gap. It actually makes it wider in dollar terms. I think you deserve to know that. I want you to type in the comments right now. Did you know about this phase-in rule before watching this video? Yes or no? I read every single comment, and I have a very strong feeling the answer for most of you is no. 5 mistakes that could cost you this payment. All right, let us go through the 5 most common mistakes that could cost you this payment, and I want to be honest with you about which one matters most. Not filing your 2024 tax return is mistake number 1, and it is the one that affects the greatest number of people watching this right now. The CRA states it directly and without ambiguity on their website. To receive the one-time top-up payment, you and your spouse or common law partner must file your 2024 tax return. Even if you have no income to report, even if you have zero income, even if you owe nothing and never have, you must still file. Research estimates that between 10 and 12% of low-income Canadians do not file tax returns. That translates to potentially over 1 million people across this country who are fully eligible for the June 5th payment and will never see a single cent of it because they did not do this one thing. If you have not filed your 2024 return, you can still do it now. It is not too late. The CRA will assess your return and issue any amounts you are entitled to retroactively. You will not receive the money on June 5th, but you will eventually receive it. Do not walk away from money that belongs to you. Mistake number 2 is confusing the top-up amount with the quarterly amount going forward, and I see this confusion absolutely everywhere. On Facebook, on Reddit, and in the messages people send directly to me. People hear 50% increase and immediately assume that each quarterly payment is going up by 50% from now on. That is not how this works. The 50% top-up is a one-time lump sum payment equal to half of your total annual GST credit, not half of one quarterly payment, but half of the full year's worth. If your total annual credit is $400, your top-up is $200. That is one payment paid one time on June 5th. Then starting in July, the ongoing increase is 25% applied to each quarterly payment for 5 years. 2 different increases, 2 completely different amounts, 2 entirely different timelines. Understanding the difference prevents a lot of disappointment. Mistake number 3 is not knowing that the CRA can seize the payment for outstanding debts, and I have already covered this in the hidden details section, but I want to come back to it and drive it home because it is that significant. If you owe the CRA for any reason whatsoever, past taxes, ACERB overpayment, anything, that June 5th payment could be redirected to cover that debt before it ever reaches your account. Check your My Account. If you see any balance owing, call the CRA and discuss a payment arrangement before June 5th. The number for individual tax inquiries is 1-800-959-8281. Make that call. Mistake number 4 is clicking on scam links that claim to be related to the grocery benefit, and this brings us back to Gloria. She saw a legitimate-sounding Facebook post about a real payment, clicked a fraudulent link, and entered her social insurance number on a fake website that was designed to look official. It is happening right now across Canada at massive scale, and the scammers are getting more sophisticated by the day. So I need you to understand this completely. There is no application process for the Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit. You do not need to sign up. You do not need to click any link. You do not need to verify your identity on any website. You do not need to call any phone number you found on social media. The CRA calculates everything automatically from your filed tax return. If anyone dials out on Facebook, by text, by email, by phone, asks you to enter your personal information or banking details to claim this payment, it is a scam. The only legitimate source is canada.ca. That is it. Full stop, no exceptions. Mistake number 5 is not knowing that your payment might appear in your bank account under the old name, and this is creating a wave of unnecessary panic among seniors right now. The CRA has clearly stated that the June 5th payment may still show up in your bank account labeled as GSTHST credit rather than Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit, because financial institutions are still in the process of updating their internal systems to reflect the new name. So if you look at your bank account on the morning of June 5th and you see a deposit labeled GSTHST credit that is noticeably larger than the $133 you normally receive, do not call your bank in a panic assuming something is wrong. That money is yours, it is correct, and it is exactly what you were expecting. Your complete, step-by-step action plan. If you have made any of these mistakes or you are concerned you might be at risk for any of them, here's exactly what you need to do. Pause the video right now and write these steps down. Step 1. Confirm that your 2024 tax return has been filed and assessed by the CRA. Log into your CRA My Account at canada.ca. If you do not have an online account, call 1-800-959-8281. If your 2024 return has not been filed, file it immediately, even if you had zero income. You can use the CRA's free simple file service if your tax situation is straightforward, or you can visit a free tax clinic in your community. The CRA maintains a complete list of volunteer tax preparation clinics at canada.cai. Just search for free tax clinics and enter your postal code. Step 2. File your 2025 tax return if you have not already done so. Your 2024 return unlocks the June 5th top-up payment. Your 2025 return unlocks the enhanced quarterly payment starting July 3rd. You need both returns filed and assessed to receive the full benefit in 2026. The deadline for most individuals was April 30th, but filing late is far better than not filing at all. The sooner you file, the sooner your July 3rd payment is calculated correctly. Step 3. Log into your CRA My Account and check for any outstanding balances. Navigate to Accounts and Payments and review carefully whether there is a balance owing for any reason, unpaid taxes, CERB repayment, benefit overpayment, anything at all. If you see a balance, call the CRA before June 5th and discuss setting up a payment arrangement. Getting ahead of it now is the only way to protect what is coming. Step 4. Sign up for direct deposit if you have not done so already. Right now, nearly 4 million government checks worth over $2 billion are sitting uncashed across Canada. If you are still receiving paper checks, you are at risk. A check can get lost in the mail, it can be stolen from your mailbox, it can sit in a drawer and expire. Signing up for direct deposit through your CRA My Account or by calling your bank takes 5 minutes and ensures your money arrives on the exact day it is issued, with no waiting, no worrying, and no trips to the bank. Step 5. Make sure your spouse or common law partner has also filed their return for both 2024 and 2025. This is one that many couples overlook entirely. The CRA calculates the CGEB based on your combined family net income. If your spouse has not filed their return, your benefit could be delayed, calculated incorrectly, or reduced. Both partners must have both years filed for the household to receive the correct amount on schedule. Step 6. Mark these 3 dates in your calendar right now before you do anything else. June 5th, 2026 is the one-time top-up payment. July 3rd, 2026 is the first enhanced quarterly CGEB payment under the new 25% increase. October 5th, 2026 is the second quarterly CGEB payment. Those are the 3 dates that matter most for the rest of this year. Write them on paper. Set a reminder on your phone. Do whatever you need to do so you are not caught off guard. Step 7. Do not click on any link, respond to any message, or call any number that claims you need to apply for the grocery benefit. There is no application. The CRA determines your eligibility automatically when your taxes are filed. If you see anything on social media, receive a text, an email, or a phone call asking you to enter your social insurance number, your banking details, or any personal information to receive this payment, block the sender, delete the message, and report it immediately to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre at 1-888-495-8501. The only safe and legitimate source of information about this benefit is canada.ca. Remember Gloria from Oshawa? After she realized what had happened, she called the CRA's fraud reporting line immediately. They flagged her account, they blocked the unauthorized redirect attempt, and because Gloria had already filed her 2024 tax return, her June 5th payment is fully protected and on its way. She told me, and I am paraphrasing her exact words, "I almost lost my grocery money trying to get my grocery money. If I had just known it was automatic, I never would have clicked that link." Gloria's story could have ended very differently. It could be ending very differently for someone you know right now, and I don't want that to happen to you. Here's the bottom line. If you filed your 2024 tax return and your income is below the threshold, your money is on its way on June 5th. You do not need to apply. You do not need to call anyone. You do not need to click on anything. It will appear in your bank account or arrive in your mailbox if you are still receiving paper checks. But if you have not filed, if you have a CRA debt you did not know about, or if you are still getting paper checks that sit unnoticed in a drawer, you need to take action today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. I make these videos because I genuinely believe that every Canadian senior deserves to know exactly where their money is, exactly what they are entitled to, and exactly what to do to protect it. Since 2020, food prices in this country have risen by 27%. The average family is spending nearly $1,000 more on groceries this year than they did last year. Nearly 1 in 3 older Canadians say the rising cost of living is their number one financial concern. You spent your entire working life contributing to this country. You paid into CPP for decades. You earned your OAS. You deserve every single cent that is coming to you, and you deserve someone who will make sure you actually get it. If this video helped you today, or if you know someone it could help, please share it right now. Send it to your spouse, send it to your neighbor, text it to your brother, your sister, or a friend who just retired. Because chances are they have heard about the June 5th payment but have no idea about the 5 traps that could take it away, the 2 different tax years required, or the scammers actively targeting seniors with fake links right now. One share from you could save someone hundreds of dollars or protect them from something devastating. And if you have not subscribed yet, please hit that button now and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update from Canada Pension News Bulletin. I am here every single week with the latest changes to CPP, OAS, GIS, CRA rules, and everything that touches your retirement income. You worked hard your whole life. The least you deserve is someone making sure you never miss what is yours.